That's Marina Del Rey in back of me. Beautiful aquatic site out there, and some board sailors or surfboarders, whichever you want to call them, participating in their favorite sport. We have had 2 American gold medals so far today. One came in the small bore rifle. That was Ed Etzel. He won a gold medal. Another gold medal to Mary Waite. That came in swimming in the women's 200-meter freestyle. Then the anthem.
Médaille d'or, représentant les États-Unis d'Amérique.
The winner of the gold medal, representing the United States, the Olympic champion, Mary Waite.
Very attractive girl, Mary Waite. Here's the moment.
Médaille d'argent, représentant les États-Unis d'Amérique.
The winner of the silver medal, representing the United States, Cynthia Woodhead.
1-2 finish for the Americans. Swimming, a great competition. In the men's competition, there have been 5 world records so far. Not in the women. But very close competition. And the bronze.
Médaille de bronze, représentant les Pays-Bas.
The winner of the bronze medal, representing the Netherlands, Annemarie Verstappen.
So Holland picks one up. But the American girls will be able to both enjoy the anthem that will be played.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the playing of the national anthem of the United States of America.
Mesdames et messieurs, veuillez vous lever pour l'exécution de l'hymne national des États-Unis d'Amérique.
Okay, another gold medal for the United States in the women's swimming competition. Now, we saw the American women gymnasts. They took the lead in the compulsory phase of women's gymnastics. That was earlier today, however, and live later on this evening, not too much later, we're going to be seeing the performance by the Romanians and the Chinese, the other favorites in this event. So it'll be a question of whether the Americans' marks still stack up against the Romanians and the Chinese who are yet to come. We're going to see boxing, much of it live this evening, and a fight from earlier today, a terrific one involving Paul Gonzalez of the United States. So the Olympics go on, the competition continues. Stay with us, a lot more to come.
In lane number 7, Jim Lampley with Mark Spitz back at the Olympic pool, where so far in these Olympics, in 4 previous men's events, the world record has been broken in the final of each. In this one that we're about to see, the 4x200 meter freestyle relay, the world record was broken this morning in qualifying. There it is, 7 minutes, 18 and 87 seconds was the time established earlier today by Jeff Gabarino, David Larson, Bruce Hayes, and Rich Sager. And that snapped the world record previously held by a team from the Federal Republic of Germany. Now there are two different swimmers on the American relay team, which will be swimming in lane 4 in this event. Next to them in lane 5 will be the team from the Federal Republic of Germany, and there is one major addition to that relay team. Since qualifying, one of their swimmers has been taken off of the team, and now the anchor leg will be swum by the incredible albatross, Mikhail Gross, who will be going for his 3rd gold medal of these games. The American team now consists of Mike Heath, the American record holder, who will swim the first 200 meters, in David Larson, Jeff Float, and Bruce Hayes. But as they go into the pool, you would expect the USA to take the lead in the first 200 meters. Mike Heath won the silver medal last night in the men's 200-meter freestyle.
Jimmy swimming right next to Thomas Farner of the Federal Republic of Germany, who was 3rd. He won the bronze. And so it's going to be very close. Very interesting here is the way they place their swimmers. They're going to have Mikhail Gross, for the Federal Republic of Germany going last. But he'll be swimming against Bruce Hayes, who is a phenomenal relay swimmer. That means that he goes a little bit faster in a relay, better than he would have done in an individual event, because he gets pumped up. He doesn't want to let his other team members down, and he'll have a rolling start.
But Hayes' great accomplishments as a relay swimmer notwithstanding, it is still interesting that the American coaches have elected to swim Heath, the American record holder in this event, as the leadoff swimmer. The obvious strategy here, as Heath takes the lead after the 100-meter mark, is to try to grab an early lead and hold it through the race, so that by the time Mikhail Gross gets into the water for West Germany, they will be too far behind to catch up.
Well, that's correct, and certainly with these men creating the big waves that they do, they're rather large. They're kicking 6 to 8 feet. And it gets very wavy coming from behind, and Mikhail may have a problem doing that. And remember, it's better to be out in front and try to hold it, because it inspires the other team members. And you can listen to the hometown advantage right now, because this audience and these spectators are going crazy for the Americans to break another world record. They've been very successful at pushing the Americans and the other people who have swum in finals to swimming their best times.
Earlier today, Jeff Gabarino swam the first 200 meters of the qualifying effort in 1:49.80. We'll see what Mike Heath has done to perhaps improve on that. He has indeed. He touched in 1:48.67, and the United States has more than a second lead over the team from the Federal Republic of Germany, as now into the water for the USA is David Larson. You talked about how there are great relay swimmers. David Larson, 25 years old from Gainesville, Florida, is certainly one of them. What is the psychology, Mark Spitz, that sets apart a relay swimmer, a man who is great in this event, from one who is better in individual events?
I think, Jim, when you think about yourself, it's very simple to say, well, if I'm not doing well, I'll give up. There's nobody that suffers the consequence. In this case, you're going to be letting down 3 other team members. Also, I should mention that in the relays, the relay exchanges, one man going off the blocks when the other man comes in, is very important. You're allowed to be fully laid out in the blocks as long as your team member touches the wall before your feet leave the block. And in the relay exchange with the Federal Republic of Germany, I believe that the Germans actually got off the blocks a little bit quicker than the Americans. But in the pool right now, it's David Larson just expanding this lead. Going to be really critical for Mikhail Gross, to, I think, make the come up.
So Larson now, as he reaches the 350-meter mark of the race, has a big lead for the USA. He'll be coming back and touching the wall to allow Jeff Float to go into the pool. Float was 4th in the men's 200-meter freestyle event a little bit earlier in the meet. He is the American team captain, 24 years old, from Sacramento, California, and he is a particular favorite of everybody on the team. But right now, Kortals of the German team is coming back a little bit on Larson. He has made up a whole lot of water in the last 50 meters. We'll see what Larson touches in now, as the United States at 3:37.68 after the 400-meter mark is ahead of the pace they established this morning.
They're ahead by almost 2 seconds. This team is really flying, but also the Federal Republic of Germany is really flying.
And after what happened earlier this evening in the 100-meter butterfly, where you saw Mikhail Gross nail world record holder Pablo Morales coming from behind in the last 50 meters, no lead will be safe for Bruce Hayes when he takes off on the anchor leg.
Bruce Hayes has a tendency to go out very fast in relay swims, and in the 200 meters that he'll be doing on his legs, 4 laps of this pool, he's going to have to really concentrate on not expending too much energy, because Mikhail Gross is, of course, the world record holder in this event and can make up a second to a second and a half.
This is rapidly shaping up as a real drama. Jeff Float is still maintaining that big lead for the USA, but he has failed to thoroughly lose contact with the West German swimmer in the pool, Alexander Schottke. So, as Schottke tries to tail down Float from behind, Bruce Hayes waits on the blocks, and next to him, the albatross, Mikhail Gross of Frankfurt, is getting his head wet, dipping his hands in the water, and getting ready to feel what it's like. They will touch now at 550 meters. 250 meters to go. The United States still well ahead of the world record pace they established this morning. The Germans still in the hunt. None of the other relay teams in the pool really in contention for anything more than a bronze at this point. Here comes Jeff Float, and Hayes and Gross are waiting.
The United States is really pumped up for this. Let's watch the relay exchange. It's going to be critical. The United States does not want to jump. It cost them a gold medal. They'd be disqualified from the whole event. Rather conservative.
There goes Mikhail Gross, and Hayes knows that he's there, and already coming off the blocks, Gross has made up about 2 yards.
He made up a body length just on the dive.
In lane 3 for Great Britain,
He breathes on any side that he wants, as long as that he can control the race. It looks like right now he looks very much in control. Mikhail Gross has caught up too much, Jim. He's caught up too much in the first 50 meters.
Well, no Olympic swimmer has performed this way since 12 years ago in Gross's native country of Germany, when a man named Mark Spitz won 7 gold medals. Right now, there is absolutely nothing that Bruce Hayes can do. He is helpless in the pool, swimming as fast as he can, but as he breathes on his right, he looks to the side and he sees the albatross coming by.
Mikhail Gross has moved over to the left side, hoping that Hayes would move over and be sucked up by him because of his weight that's created. Now Gross has moved over. Gross smartly has moved over.
100 meters to go. It looked for a moment as though Hayes had made up some distance on the turn, but then Gross stretched it right back out. So now it is the Federal Republic of Germany in the lead, and all that Bruce Hayes can hope for now is that Mikhail Gross expended too much energy in catching him in the first 100 meters of this relay leg. When they touch the wall here, they'll have 50 meters to go, and the crowd will be rooting against the albatross, but they have to admire what he's doing out there.
In the preliminaries of the 200-meter freestyle, he died in the last 20 meters, Mikhail Gross. And hopefully that may happen for the United States, but Hayes is a strong competitor. And both of them are swimming on the lane lines. They're swimming right on top of each other.
Here they come. It is Gross closest to you. It is Hayes, and he's trying to go by one more time.
He may do it.
On the left, one of the greatest relay races in Olympic history. And as they touch, the United States won. Bruce Hayes, with an incredible comeback in the last 40 meters of that race, got the albatross from behind. What a remarkable accomplishment for a young man who may be this nation's best all-around freestyle swimmer, but is not the best in any one event. He's 21 years old. He lives in Dallas. He went to high school with Mike Keith at Highland Park High School. His one chance in these games came in this relay race, and what an effort to come from behind and catch Mikhail Gross.
Jimmy never lost his composure when Mikhail went by him. Mikhail may have gone out a little bit too fast, but both men were totally spent in their energy. It was a beautiful, beautiful race by the Federal Republic of Germany. They had to do that. They had to do that.
4 100ths of a second, the winning margin for the American team of Heath, Larson, Float, and Hayes. And don't let that one loss diminish the stature of Mikhail Gross, who showed you once again what an incredible talent he is.
He had to come from 2 body lengths behind, and that's something. That's really something. It was down to the wire.
David Larson,
And typically great.
Bruce Hayes.
Gross touched hands with Bruce Hayes shortly after the race. In congratulations to the American for an effort which can only be described with an overused word in sports. He was courageous.
Here we can see a super slow motion of the finish. Mikhail Gross at this point in time had a slight advantage over Hayes of the United States, swimming just above him. And when they get close to the finish, it was only a matter of a slight underwater push in that finish at the touch plate that brought it out for the United States for that win. You know, this loss to Mikhail Gross cost him possibly the chance of winning 4 gold medals. 3 in individual events and 1 in this relay, but a courageous swim by both countries.
It is almost incidental in retrospect that the United States team broke their own world record by more than 3 seconds. Look at that finish, and there you can see it, graphically illustrated. Hayes was there first by about the length of his hand. So the gold medal goes to the United States. The silver medal goes to the Federal Republic of Germany. And the bronze medal goes to a team from Great Britain. Congratulations at poolside for that American team and their victory in the 4x200 meter freestyle relay.
Of the 23rd Olympiad. Brought to you by Champion International Corporation. By True Value Hardware Stores, because we've got what it takes. By Spartus, America's fitness vitamin. And by Bud Light, proud sponsor of the 1984 U.S. Olympic team.
Count me down. This is Diana Nyad with the gold medal team for the 800-meter relay. You just had the entire pool deck, along with millions of people at home, on pins and needles, the edge of the seats. A group congratulations.
Thanks a lot.
Bruce, not to center on you because it's a relay and everyone had great splits. You swam a very gutsy race, but to get up against Mikhail Gross, when he caught you within the first 50, he made up a body length and maybe even more. To hang on and be that gutsy and that composed, I'm sure the three of your teammates will say, watch the finish down here, guys, that you really held it together. They must have been so proud of you. Were you scared in that last 100, especially when he took off on that last 75?
I was really more scared the first 100 of this. The second 50, actually, when we turned even at the 100, you know, I thought, oh. But after the third 50, when he really didn't pull out on me, on the third 50, I just said, coming off the wall, I just said, put your head down and just kick. And then with the 25 to go, you know, I was still with him. I was just playing it by ear the whole way.
Well, they made a decision and had you go first, Mike, and I suppose it was the right decision in the end.
I guess so. Bruce sure did a great job.
If it hadn't been for the lead these guys got me, I would have been up the creek.
You had to run him down and touch him out, huh?
Well, the fabulous gutsy race will be watching you up on the medal stand. Back to Lamps.
All right, Diana, and thanks to those four very excited young men for sharing that moment with us. There are the final results. The new world record time is 15:69. Second place to the West German team. Third place to the team from Great Britain, anchored by three swimmers who go to Arizona State University. And now at the end of what has been a remarkably exciting day at the Olympic pool, let's go back to Command Studio and Jim McKay. Jim?
Okay, Jim, thanks very much. As far as any effect of the Eastern European boycott is concerned, I think that world records certainly speak for themselves. By the way, the timing that you see is done to the hundreds, and if they're tied to the hundreds, as happened yesterday with Carrie Steincypher and Nancy Hogshead, it is declared a dead heat. But actually, they are being timed to the thousands, which is kind of an interesting story. However, Kathleen Sullivan has the whole story for you, so let's go over to her now. Kathleen?
It's the biggest secret of these Olympic Games, and those in charge, the World Swimming Authorities, say they'll never tell. It began yesterday, you'll recall, when Carrie Steincypher and Nancy Hogshead of the United States appeared to finish in a dead heat in the women's 100-meter freestyle final.
Gonna be close. Hogshead touched. In second place, Carrie Steincypher got it.
The computer-controlled scoreboard flashed up identical times for both swimmers, but it called Steincypher the winner, a sign that she beat Hogshead by a margin measured in the thousandth of a second. But see if you can pick the winner. The International Olympic Committee calls it a dead heat because it only recognizes times down to 2 decimal places, hundredths of a second. And that meant gold medals for both Steincypher and Hogshead. Olympic officials say the electronically timed results of the race, the times that tell who really won, will be turned over to the organization that governs international swimming. Those results will never be made public. But Steincypher and Hogshead have at least one more battle against the clock and each other. Tomorrow, they'll swim on the U.S. freestyle relay team, and the one who swims the fastest leg will be on the medley relay team later this week and have a shot at another gold.
These certainly have started as a tremendously competitive Olympics. Look at the finish of the men's relay that occurred just a few minutes ago. There you see the American's hand, as Jim Lampley said, just about the length of his hand, the amount by which he won. Yesterday we had the incredible finish of 5 inches, I think it was, with one American woman beating the other after almost 50 miles in the women's road cycling race. And the one that they were just talking about now. It's going to be a tremendously competitive Olympics. It already is, and we have so much more still to come. Still to come tonight, you're going to see local news as close to 11 o'clock as we can. You'll be getting a brief, fairly brief amount of news, but then after we go off at midnight local time, Eastern time, before our late night coverage comes on, you'll have a full half hour of local news. We're also going to be seeing live gymnastics coverage tonight. The Romanians and the Chinese women trying to go after the Americans who set the pace earlier today and take the lead at the end of the compulsory in gymnastics. Boxing, we have more of that coming up. Live boxing, possibly Virgil Hill coming up very soon. Meanwhile, surf's still up down at the beach. 6:45. Spell it. Well, there is the reception for the American men's swimming relay team that just won the gold medal and set a world record with Bruce Hayes on the anchor leg, falling behind the great Mikhail Gross and then nailing him at the finish. A tremendous performance. Well, there are the medals.
Of the gold medal.
Each man on the team, of course, gets one.
The Olympic champions, the new Olympic and world record holders from the United States of America.
Nine gold medals so far for the United States of America in these games.
Mike Fee.
And the competition in the men's swimming has been tremendous.
David Larson.
World record after world record in the men's.
David Larson.
David Larson. Every one of them swam a powerful leg, 4 lengths of the pool.
Jeff Float.
Jeff Float, by the way, does not hear those cheers very well. 60% deaf in one ear, 80% in the other. Doesn't even hear the starter's gun. But I think he knows what's going on.
And Bruce Hayes.
And Bruce Hayes, what a leg he swam. I mean, you just don't fall behind an athlete like Mikhail Gross and then come back. But he did.
Médaille d'argent, l'équipe de la République fédérale d'Allemagne.
Winners of the silver medal.
That'll be
team from the
Federal Republic of Germany, of course. But one gold medal that people thought Mikhail Gross would win has gone glimmering.
First,
the relay medal.
Thomas
He's already had 2, of course, and 2 world marks. Gross down at the other end of the team. They're looking this way. 6'7" with that 7 feet 6 inch wingspan, you might say. All the crowd waiting with the flag for the American anthem yet again. That's John Moffat. That was John Moffat you just saw, who unfortunately had a reoccurrence of a groin injury yesterday. Whether that'll be well in time for him to swim again, we don't know yet. And there, Mikhail Gross, the albatross. And listen to the reception for the Germans from the American crowd in L.A.
Médaille de bronze.
The bronze medal.
L'équipe de Grande-Bretagne.
Winners of the bronze medal.
English and French, the 2 international languages being used.
First, Neil Cochran.
Union Jack.
Second, Paul
Fly not
Easter.
highest, but high all the same.
Paul Howe.
And remember, this is live. This is now. We're at the Olympics in Los Angeles. We're at about 12 minutes to 7 by my watch. So there's plenty of daylight left.
And finally, Andy Astbury.
Great Britain through the years, despite its comparatively small population compared to the great powers, has always come up with good athletes in the Olympics. In many sports, too. Although particularly track and
Ladies
field.
and gentlemen, please rise for the playing of the national anthem of the United States of America.
Mesdames et messieurs, veuillez vous lever pour l'exécution de l'hymne national des États-Unis d'Amérique.
Did you notice Jeff Float, who is clinically deaf, straining to hear the anthem so that he could sing along? Gold medal, world record, the American men's swimmers. So the American flag, the Stars and Stripes, continues to fly very high over these games of Los Angeles. Super slow motion look at victory. I think that sums it up rather well. Boxing coming up. Virgil Hill in the 168-pound class, his first attempt.